Hey guys, welcome to Wave. In this episode, we'll talk about this concept called Metaverse. We'll try and look at what it actually means. How will the Metaverse even look? So let's get started. So what is the Metaverse, right? The Metaverse is not a place, not like a physical place. If you think about your life, it is already digitized, right? Much of your life is already happening online. Especially during the pandemic, you were probably working online. You were maybe attending a yoga session online. You were consulting with your doctor online. You're already doing shopping online. You are even ordering food and groceries online. So most of your life is pretty much online. Your people are even getting married online. So this digitization of your life is complete, but what the metaverse is going to do is make it more immersive, right? And how is that going to happen? There'll be a number of hardware equipment that will come out, like VR headsets, haptic suits, omnidirectional treadmills, and so on, which will ensure that you get a more immersive experience. What do I mean by immersive experience? It's almost like you're in the real world, but you're just there virtually. Right? And I'll try and show you a few things to make you understand that better. But what can you really do in the metaverse? You can attend a virtual concert. You can take a trip to any country in the world. You can attend a wedding of a friend. You can even buy virtual outfits. You can live in a virtual real estate that you can develop it the way you want it to be. If you look at Snoop Dogg, right, he was probably one of the first people to, or the first celebrities to embrace the change in technology. So Snoop Dogg created something called Snoopverse on one of the metaverse called Sandbox. Now he has these avatars. So avatars are essentially your digital identity, right? In the metaverse, you can choose to be what you always imagined yourself to be. If you want long hair, that's possible. If you want yourself to look taller, that's possible. Whatever you feel like, that is totally possible. If you want your hair to be completely pink or purple, you can do that. The version of you that you imagined for yourself always, and probably you could never do that in real life for various reasons, practical or impractical. You can do that in the metaverse, and you can change it on a daily basis. And you can have a new avatar every single day. And once you have avatar, you have, you can do a lot of things. Like Snoop Dogg has, what he's essentially done is created a replica of his house where he's going to host concerts, he's going to have pool parties, and you as somebody who owns one of his NFTs, so he's given early passes in the form of NFTs. If you own one of these, you can get early access to help him build it. You can get early access to his parties and concerts and so on. Now, how will something like this even happen, right? One of the first requirements is a VR headset. Right? This is absolutely important. Right now, there's all, if you can even log into Decentraland or Sandbox and use your keypad and go around, but that immersive experience is not yet there. Right? When will that immersive experience come? When you probably have the right hardware, and the development of that hardware is going on currently. Many of these are already in the market, but maybe at a very expensive price. The price will eventually drop over a period of time due to economies of scale, and then you'll really see the adoption of the hardware, and which in turn will ensure that the software part of it has a better experience and there are more options and so on. Now, if you look at companies like Oculus, they've already created wonderful VR headsets. So this is probably the first and most important thing for you in terms of what you need to get into the metaverse. Other than that, you will need something called a Tesla haptic suit. Now, this is just one example. There are many such suits that are going on. What these Tesla haptic suits essentially do is they allow you to feel pressure, pain, climate, a lot of the things that you cannot feel today. Right? If you are, talking to your colleague over a Zoom call, or if you are, let's say, exercising virtually, right? You cannot, feel what is happening. That's the only thing that's probably missing in this whole piece. But this Tesla suit is sort of going to make you feel that, right? It has pressure sensors, it has motion, capture sensors. It has biometrics in it. This will allow you to feel the even the climate. Right? You imagine on a metaverse where you're going to travel to Paris, you can feel the climate of Paris sitting in any other city. If it's snowing in Paris, the suit will ensure that you feel that the freezing cold of Paris. If it's burning hot in a tropical island, then the suit will ensure that you feel that heat. Right. So the suit is meant for that purpose. Beyond the suit, if you have a VR headset and a suit, and you're in the metaverse, in real world, if you're running around, then you might just crash into a wall or something, right? Or you might crash into someone else. So you need one more important component, which is called the omnidirectional treadmill. So what does a treadmill really do? A treadmill will, as you walk, it just keeps you in one place, but it gives you the feeling that you are walking or running or jogging or whatever it is. An omnidirectional treadmill is a better version of a treadmill. You can run in any direction, and it will ensure that you are in the same place, but gives you the feeling in the metaverse that you're running around. Right? This is already available. There are many companies that have built out arcades for people to test it out, although expensive at this point of time. But in due course of time, these omnidirectional treadmills will become cheaper and it will become mainstream. And when these three components really become mainstream, that is when the true potential of the metaverse starts getting unlocked. But for today, it is all in development, right from the development of the metaverse to the development of these hardware components itself. If you want to understand truly how this whole metaverse will pan out, what will it look like, then you can go and watch this movie called Ready Player One. It's available, I think, on Netflix and Amazon and many other places. You can go and watch this. This will give you an amazing understanding of what really the metaverse will look like, what are the bad things that can happen, what are the good things that can happen, what it does to you, what it does to the society, and so on. So, a must watch movie, I would say, very futuristic, very captivating movie. Now, how big is an opportunity is this? If you look at industries like music, retail, education, advertising, these are the industries that will get affected right from the beginning. Right? The total addressable market for music is about $68 billion. Digital penetration is like 31%. Um with the metaverse, you can have virtual concerts, you can have virtual award ceremonies. So you can also probably be sitting in at the Oscars at some point of time when it's hosted on the metaverse. Right? The potential to unlock value in all this is enormous. Imagine there might be so many people around the world who are not physically attending a concert because maybe it's in the next city, right? It's still a barrier, right? You don't want to drive 300 kilometers to go and attend a concert. But a concert happening on the metaverse, it's much easier, frictionless for you to go and attend it at your convenience. You can leave at your convenience, and this is already happening. Snoop Dogg, for instance, is trying to do that in his Snoopverse. There are many other artists who have hosted virtual conferences. Then there's retail, which is a much 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 bigger total addressable market, almost $16 trillion. Today, you're shopping online, looking at clothes. In the metaverse, you'll be able to go try on clothes in a virtual, in a digital kind of an environment. You will get a much better idea of the fit, the size, and whatnot. Then there's education. This is not just your classroom education. Today, sitting in front of a laptop, you might not get the feeling of you sitting with your friends in class. But in the metaverse, that's totally going to change. You will be sitting with your friends, more immersive experiences. You can have schools can take their kids to field trips. If a teacher wants to show her students what exactly the desert looks like, she can take them directly to the Sahara Desert on the metaverse. There can be virtual labs. You can do experiments. You can go crazy with experiments because there is no chance that you'll get harmed. So that's another interesting thing that can happen. This can even extend to education in terms of, let's say, sports training. Right? Your coach will be able to, from the feedback that he receives from the haptic suit and your, omnidirectional treadmill and the VR headsets, he'll be able to better guide you on where you're going wrong. Right? It can even, in fact, reduce the cost of coaching. Now, all of us who are today unable to attend or go for a one-on-one coaching for any game or any sport can in the future do that, because you can have robotic coaches who can train you much better to get your technique right. So that's another big aspect that will get affected. That's another, close to 5.5 trillion kind of a market. Then there's advertising. Advertising is not going to leave us wherever we go. We already have ads everywhere, right from our newspapers to TVs to Instagram and Facebook. So it's also going to happen in the metaverse. Advertising is a big part of any of our life, and it will continue to be there. People will continue to sell things to you. So advertising is going to be there. In fact, let me show you an example. Snoop Dogg in the metaverse is building his Snoopverse, and somebody bought a virtual property for about $500,000. Right? What is his intent? Maybe he wants to build something, but the easiest thing that he can do is put up a digital billboard in the metaverse. That's still going to make him some passive income. Right? Easiest thing for him to do. And not just this example, there are so many other things that are happening. Accenture recently entered the metaverse, where they wanted to welcome their new employees in the metaverse, right? Give them an immersive experience. The possibilities are endless in terms of what they can actually show and guide their employees on. More and more companies will definitely come on board this. JP Morgan already opened a virtual lounge in, I think, Decentraland. Many other companies are following suit. I feel this is going to be a huge opportunity. Some reports peg the metaverse at least $1 trillion opportunity. Right? And we have picked out in our baskets some of the best tokens in the metaverse. Axie Infinity, though, had a hack recently. Still need to dig deeper on this, but some of the good tokens that are there in this are Sandbox, Decentraland, and Engine. These are doing a phenomenal job. Axie was also doing a phenomenal job. In fact, it helped so many villagers in Philippines during the pandemic. More on that in one of the next videos that will come out. But we felt that sometime back when we did this research, these are some of the best tokens as an early investor to get into. More on each of them in the coming videos, where we'll analyze and talk about the Sandbox and Decentraland, the Engine. What is the revenue model? What is the what is possible? How will this happen? Who's already there? What does this ecosystem consist of? We'll explore all that in the coming videos. Hope this gave you some idea of what the metaverse is. Do go and watch this movie. It's like probably the easiest ask somebody can do. It's a very short movie. You can try and watch it whenever you're free. Trust me, it's going to blow your mind. That's for sure. I was mind blown when I watched this movie.